Hello everyone and welcome to another One Piece battle slash duel thing. Today it's me on the left playing Red Purple Luffy versus your favorite anime villain on the right playing Gecko Moria. He's actually just wanted to test out this deck and see how it was. I believe I won die roll and I went ahead and kept it and I decided to go first. No, he won die roll and decided to go first. That's what happened. I remember now because I remember my draw. But yeah, we were just playing a game for fun after the locals event went off. But yeah, I want to know, are you guys excited for the new leaders coming out in ST13? I believe that's what it is. If you are, please tell me which one you are most excited for. I am super excited for yellow black Luffy. I think it's gonna be a really fun deck to play. You know, I'm a Luffy player here, so we got it going. But yeah, so he'll go first. He gets a Dawn. He has no turn one play. He did mulligan. And I go second. I have nothing to play. I was hoping I'd have a Nami or something, but was not lucky enough to get that. So I do pass it over back to him. And now with his 3 Dawn play, he's going to... I think if I am correct, he has no Thriller Bark in hand, so he doesn't want to risk anything. So he does go 6 into life. And I'm deciding if I'm taking this or not. I have a bunch of options. I can drop a 1k counter. I can use my Rad Beam, but I do just give him a 1k counter Queen. I figured I'm not really going to need it this game yet. And he goes brand new, so that way he can kind of fill up his trash. And possibly hit a Thriller Bark card. And he actually missed completely, but he did set up his trash, so now he has things to actually play with his Gecko Moria. So I go ahead and I go to my 4 Dawn turn, and for turn I did draw a Nami, which is nice, like on time. Wish it was a turn earlier, but it's okay. Now I can go Nami Zoro and not have to worry about anything. So I go 6 in, and he gives me a 2k counter. Couldn't see it. I think it's a Suru. And I just go Nami, searching for a Straw Hat. I could only add Guard Point. I wish I could add something else, but it's okay. I have my play in hand. And I go 3. I play Zoro Joro. And at this point, I'm like, wait. I think Zoro's just gonna die here. That's all that's gonna happen. He's gonna just swing 6, drop an Absalom, and Zoro dies. Of course, that's if he has it. So let's see if he has it. That's the thing, right? He's pretending to count out Dawn, and I'm over here typing up my Dawn. He goes Suru, minus the Zoro down to 1. Then he goes 7 into life, rests 2, trashes an Absalom, mills 2. We can't see it, but I believe he mills another Absalom. So he has 2 Absaloms in trash now, and he goes Absalom, uses the effect to pop. And yeah, he did forget to put his 2 characters on the bottom of his deck, but we do correct it. We notice it and we correct it on the next turn, I believe. So now I'm just counting out what I want to do this turn. I'm like, okay, I can go Bart and leave 1 up. So I go 7 in, trying to force him to drop cards or take a life because I don't want to get too far behind. I'm already starting at 3 life, so being down back is already pretty bad. So I go Bart effect, so I rest 5 Dawn and get 1 active. And now my Rad Beam is live if he decides to go in heavy. And I pass it back to him. I also have the Guard Point I got off of Nami. So I have a bunch of options to actually counter out this turn. Seeing as he was willing to actually just go 7 in to get his body out, I am totally okay with this. Alright, so now he's going to go on to his 7 Dawn turn, I believe. Yes, he's at 7 Dawn now. And let's see what he decides to do. He's probably going to try to pop my Bart or get rid of my Nami or hit me with a Prona. Like, there's so many things that he can do here that I am just not wanting to deal with. But he goes 3 Helmeppo, minus Bart down to 1. And I'm like, alright, well, here it comes. He's going to go 7 into my life, rest 2 to trash a card, and he mills 2, and he plays the Absalom that he did mill earlier. And then this is where I realize, I'm like, wait, you didn't bottom deck for the first one. So he's like, oh yeah, my bad. So now he's going to bottom deck 2 for the first one and then 2 for the second one. We correct the issue, it's not too bad. Yep, and I can see just a little bit of the card. There you go. So he's going to bottom deck those 4 because he did forget the first one. And yep, Bart dies, and I go ahead and 2k counter out of this. He probably could have just gone 6 and 6 to get 2 swings. I would have actually got 2 cards out of my hand instead of 1. But I think he wants to keep his Absalom alive because he wants to go for a big push. And I draw into another Rad Beam, and I'm like, alright, well, I'm never dying, but I have nothing to play. And I'm contemplating here if I want to ramp and drop the 10 drop here. But if I do so, I'm going to be a little behind on my Dawn. So, instead, I'm going to go ahead and just try to swing twice here. So I'm counting out the Dawn. I see that I have a bunch of event counters left. So I'm like, alright, I'll leave enough counter for everything. I'll go 7 into life. And he goes and takes the 7. And I'm like, alright, cool. I'm at 9 Dawn. I can still ramp. So I go ahead and ramp. And then I take 2 Dawn, attach it, and go 8 into life. See if I can get 2 2k counters. And he decides to go ahead and take this one as well. I think he was just running low on counter, honestly. And I do go ahead and give him the option to swing on this Nami for free. I'm not too worried about it. The fact that she got a 7k swing in is okay with me. So he goes and swings into it. I jokingly am like, well, maybe I'll counter out. Nah, I'm just kidding. So now he's left here with 10 Dawn. And he's got a Moria in trash. Let's see if he has one in hand. But also, doing a Moria here doesn't even save him. So he does go 6 in. I give him a 2k. He goes 6 in. I give him guard point. He goes 6 in again. And I'm like, alright, I'll take this one. And I'll just counter heavy out of the next one. And then realizing it after, I'm like, oh, that puts me at 5 cards. That actually kind of sucks. I shouldn't have taken that last Absalom. So let's see what he decides to do here. I know he's talking to me about it, and he's like, man, I want to get greedy here and play the Perona to rip a card out of your hand. But I also just want to keep a 2k counter in hand so that way I have defense. And this is where he actually makes a slight misplay with his turn. I believe it's either this turn or the next turn. So yeah, so he puts the brand new in trash, which was his problem. He should have put the Helmeppo in trash. So he Peronas me, I drop the Jambe, and then I give him a Rad Beam to get out of the 7k swing. And I draw into a Law. So at this point, I had to decide, am I dead next turn, or do I live if I clear the board? So I decided to just go Luffy here, the 10 drop. I use leader effect, and then the character effect, and I go 7 into life. And he does give me 3k counter, so I decided, like, alright, well, he's at 5 life, I can't kill him next turn. So I'm gonna end my turn and go ahead and start my next turn. So now I have to see, I drew a Luffy off that off for turn, so I'm like, okay, dang, I can't game him. There's just not enough Dawn here to do it. So I am gonna go ahead and ramp off the character effect, and I have to decide if I want to play this Law or if I need to keep the event counter up. But also he has 3-4 swings that he can make, and I only have 2 counters, and I'm like, okay, this isn't the best position, but I think I have to decide, do I play the Law, try to block out, or do I just try to kill the characters and set up for a game on a different turn? And I'm really deciding on what I want to keep in hand and what I want to trash from my hand, because if I trash this Luffy off the Gatling, then I can't use him to go for a final game push at a next turn if I needed it, for example. The problem is if he also has 2 Ice Ages or another Ice Age Helmeppo combo, my 10 drop does just die here. So I have to keep the pressure with the 10 drop. So I do just go into an Absalom here, and he takes it. And then I'm like, alright, cool. The Absalom died. Now I just gotta hope the next one dies to a 9k swing, which it most likely will. There's just too much pressure on board right now for him to actually deal with, to want to not keep, or do actually want to keep the Absalom alive. It's just not a good situation for him to be in, where he'd actually keep it alive. But I guess I decide to go 7, 8 in, actually. So 2Ks could just save him. But he doesn't do it. I don't even know if he has. I think he has 3 cards in hand. And I keep 2 Dawn up in case my last life happens to be a guard point or a rad beam. Not really doing a bluff. I'm just hoping that if it is a counter card, I just hope I can use it. So now he goes on to another turn where he actually cannot kill my Luffy because he didn't clear his own Helmeppo. And I also decided to not kill his Helmeppo, even though Helmeppo isn't really an issue for me in this matchup because it's kind of needing 3 Dawn to attack makes it to where he can't attack with it and Moria. So I am putting him in a, you have to make a kind of a difficult decision here. He can't properly clear the Luffy without double Ice Age or Ice Age Helmeppo. So he's going to take a moment here to think about what he wants to do, seeing if he can go for game or if he has to set up to live another turn. Yeah, right here he's telling me like, man, if this Helmeppo was gone, it would be a problem. And I was like, yeah, that's why I made sure to leave the Helmeppo and the Suru on board. Like, if you would have, I had no way to clear the Suru, but I did have a way to clear the Helmeppo. But I didn't want to give him the Helmeppo back in trash, because looking at his trash, as you can see here, none of this is Thriller Bark. This is all he has. He has a Lucci and a Suru, but a Suru plus Lucci and an Ice Age do not kill a 10 drop. It is 1 cost off. So he needed the Helmeppo to actually be in the trash here. So let's see what he actually ends up playing out here. Oh, the camera got nudged. Oh no, I hope this game is still good. Alright, so now that he's kind of out his Dawn, I think he's deciding on how he wants to play this out. So he goes 7 into my life. And I don't actually have a 2k counter for this, so I think I do just give him a Rad Beam. And now he has 8 Dawn left, so I think he's going to go for like a survival route here. I think he's going to probably play the Rebecca out off of a Moria. Or is he counting to swing? I can't tell. I can't remember what happened in this game. The last turns are kind of a blur. Alright, so he is going to go ahead and rest all 8 Dawn here. And I believe it's the 8 drop. Yep, he goes 8 drop. Then he goes Rebecca for his active, and then for his rested character, I believe he goes brand new here, and he plays it over his Helmeppo to put it back in trash. Yeah, so that way if he drops another Moria, he has it ready. So now he's about to go Rebecca, but I told him, I was like, you should probably go brand new first so you get your search. So off the brand new, he ends up whiffing, but he does get to add a Sabo off of the Rebecca effect now because he did do brand new. Or yeah, because he did brand new first. Just a little thing you should do is you should do your searches before your Rebecca, so that way you trash more cards. Alright, so now I'm looking at this board and I'm like, I don't know if I can survive another round, but I do get to do my favorite thing. I'm at 7, go to 8, 8 go to 9. So now I have 8 down to play with, and I'm feeling good. I am in a good position here. 8 Dawn to play, and I'm like, alright, I have enough for Dawn, I have enough for Queen. Oh look, there, the camera went back a little bit. So I go Queen, minus the Dawn, and I draw 2, and I'm like, alright, sweet. But what do I keep in hand, and what do I drop? And I decide that if I'm gonna lose the Luffy, I'd rather lose it off the Gatling anyway, because I'm like, oh no, he's only a 1k counter either way, so I might as well just drop one of these 1k counters since I'm not able to play a Law this turn, no matter how I try. So I drop a Law here. I'm not going to be able to rip cards out of his hand, and I'm also not going to be able to play it. If I need the extra 1k counter, Gavel plus Luffy does the exact same thing. So I go 7 into life. Don't really want to go 7 into life because I don't want to give him more cards to play. But there's nothing for me to swing on board. So then I go 12 into life. And again, I'm leaving 1 extra Dawn up for my life to see if it is something real or not. At this position in the game, though, I don't think he has what he needs to actually end the game from this point, because with the Queen requiring him to use Dawn to even like clear something, plus the Queen can be a block, so he either has to use Dawn to clear the Queen, or he has to just try to hit through the Queen. But either way, it doesn't result in him getting the game from this position. But who knows? He could have guard point, or he could have Ice Age, drop a 10 drop, and then pop both my characters, and then I can't go for game through the Rebecca without a Jambe. That would actually be like a pretty sick hand to go Ice Age, and then go 8 drop, clear the whole board. But it doesn't end the game that turn, and it puts him on like I can't have something unblockable, because he does have 0 life left, and he's playing a dangerous game. Because you know when you play against red, they have a bunch of things that are unblockable or make your characters unblockable. So yes, he does go Ice Age here. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this with dice, but I guess we'll just remember it. Alright, so with 1 Ice Age on Queen, he's gonna do the math a little bit here. He's gonna decide how he wants to do this. So he's gonna go 8. Let's see, he's got 8 Dawn right now, or 8k. I think he's just trying to figure out the math on how he wants to swing this to clear the Queen and still be able to swing with Perona and Moria. I put the dice on just to remember. I'm like, oh wait, it's -5. We'll just do -5 like that. So Queen is at 0 from the Ice Age. So it's a pretty easy like card for him to pop. I did put 2 Absaloms in his trash when I hit him or cleared it, and he has to see the trash, and I'm like, yeah, so here's the trash right here. There's 2 rad beams, 1 guard point. There's 4 rad beams in the game, so it's up to you on what you want to decide on what's going on here. And he's like, yeah, it does not make it any easier just looking at your trash. And plus I do have 2 Dawn up, which again is only like half a bluff. Like if it's something that I can play, it's something I can play. Alright, so now let's see what he decides to do. Alright, so it looks like he's deciding here. He's gonna go 9 into my life, resting 2 to trash a card, mills 2, and then he's going to grab the Absalom here. I think he's gonna replace his brand new or Suru. He replaces the Suru, plays a brand new effect. He's gonna bottom deck 2 cards. Let's see what he decides to bottom deck. A Sabo and a Suru. He's gonna bottom deck. And I just rad beam out of this. A 9 easily gets to 10. He's gonna use the 3 Dawn. Then he's gonna go 8 into my Luffy. I decided to do the math here. I'm like, all right, let's see if I take this, then I'm not safe. So he goes 8, and I go up to 9. Then he goes 9 in, and I go ahead and take this. It's just a Whitebeard, and I'm like, alright, I was safe the whole time. Didn't have to worry about nothing. We go ahead and go up to 10 Dawn. We're going to force him to block with the 12k in. And if he did not block this and countered out somehow, I do have a Rush Luffy in hand to just try to end the game one more time. But yeah, I throw 10 on, I go 16 in, and he scoops it up. He only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5k encounter, so he could almost get out of it if he just had two more cards. But yeah, good game. You guys go check out favorite anime villain on YouTube and on Twitch. I'll go ahead and put him down in the description below. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.